Good morning, Riggs. Welcome to sunny southern Troy, Alabama. Yes, that's where we are today.
Well, what are you up to?
I am down here on site at the mobile home park that we've been working on going back about a year now. And we are adding some additional equipment and upgrading some of the treatment capability for the Ponster unit that we delivered back in September of last year. Doing that in response to lessons learned and some data that we acquired over the last, through the first 90 days of operation.
I'm glad you're really doing a lot of product development here, and it's a fine client, a very patient and superb client, really, who has enabled us to do this work. Now, this is, I think, expandable to probably many thousands of trailer parks throughout mostly the Southeast, but also in the rest of America, right?
It is. The treatment system that we have, it's very simple. It's not overly complex. And it has tremendous applications in old existing wastewater lagoon treatment systems for mobile home parks, RV campgrounds, small municipal utilities all across the Southeast and the Midwest and the upper plains.
Wow, you're talking about municipal utilities as well. So in other words, any kind of lagoon where there's passive sanitation going on can be accelerated. The process of neutralizing the bacteria and the toxins can be sped up with this?
Yeah, the way the Ponster unit works, it is a supplement to the existing treatment capability that you have with lagoons. Lagoons usually are looked at and frowned upon because they only have a certain treatment functionality and a certain treatment capability. However, they have a tremendous asset. They're great at pretreatment, great at settling, great at primary removal of carbon and nitrogen. But they can only go but so far. What we are doing is we are taking and building and supplying these Ponster units so that they can complement the existing capability and provide a polishing treatment function. And this is really important because instead of having to completely dewater and decommission the lagoon that you may see over my shoulder, the owner of this utility gets to realize that asset value, and they can choose and implement a much less costly, less expensive treatment function.
So if we think of lagoon treatment as being this one particular level, and I'm holding my hand kind of low, what we're doing is we're popping it up a level, and which in turn makes the later treatment steps even easier and perhaps save some money with the more expensive stuff that happens later.
That's exactly right. That is the true goal of what we're trying to accomplish with the lagoon treatment system that we developed. The only other option that exists for this particular customer, they have a 15,000 gallon per day lagoon treatment system. If they were forced to dewater and decommission and replace this thing with a true electromechanical, complex, advanced wastewater treatment system, they could easily be $500,000 to $750,000 of equipment and installation.
Whoa!
And they can't afford
that.
That is right.
That destroys the pro forma for a mobile home park.
It just ruins everything. They just can't afford it.
I quickly wanted to cover this new thing that we've got here at OriginClear, which is Water on Demand, what the water industry calls Design, Build, Own, Operate, DBOO. And of course, up till now, including this unit, we've been doing D&B, the Design and Build, and leaving customers to essentially operate their own units and also to buy them. Now we're moving into customers not having to purchase and also not having to maintain, which is a whole new level. Now, do you think this has potential commercially for these thousands of operators of these mobile home parks?
They do have tremendous applications. A lot of these existing utilities that need upgrades to get into compliance with more stringent regulatory permits, that gives us a wonderful opportunity to supply that capability. And it just eliminates a lot of the hassle that the owners are they have to go find a consulting engineer, then they have to find a vendor, then they have to go find a contractor. And so when you leverage this turnkey design, build, own, operate model, complemented by a water on demand financing capability, that you just got tremendous capability and tremendous upside.
Well, yes, and we've been discussing this, for example, a very large opportunity for a lift station network that's something like 1,000 units, and one by one they're relatively cheap. 1,000's a lot. Normally, we'd be looking at a multi-year rolling replenishment of, let's say, 1,000 lift stations, according to the capital budget of the end user, which might be a city or a large institution of some kind. I think with Water on Demand and DBOO, we're able to just go, listen, sign the service contract here, and we will install it as fast as we can produce these. And since it's modular, the production would be rapid. Do you see this having potential, for example, in unusual areas like lift stations?
I do, Riggs, and I can give you a quick analogy. A lot of public works departments and a lot of municipal utilities, it's not uncommon for them to lease their vehicle equipment, their trucks and their maintenance equipment they use. While that lease model, that is a unique delivery model. They get the equipment and they pay for it over time, and then they can replace it later with new equipment and continue the lease or buy it out for whatever they want to do. With the water on demand model and with this particular product line that we have created and we've developed for retrofits to existing wastewater infrastructure systems for pump stations, that same model would apply, and for a number of reasons. The dollar value for some of these upfits are going to be about the same as if you went out and purchased a Ford F-250 maintenance truck or a utility truck. So that model right there, if we can come and they can leverage our in-house engineering, we partner with their in-house engineering team at the utility level. We develop this, we propose and recommend the technical solution. We put a price tag on it, and then we can finance that. I mean, it's a win-win. They will beat a path to your door for that every single day.
Well, Dan, what's interesting here is, of course, we could do the full-throated water on demand model, which is, we own it, we operate it, the whole thing, and they simply pay, a fee for consumption, or they could procure it and then have the full support. So it'd be the best of both worlds for certain operators out there, like cities.
That's absolutely correct, Riggs. The old school design and procure and delivery models, using the old pumping technologies, especially in relation to wastewater pump stations, those models they still exist and they still work at certain levels. But when you get into replacement and you're trying to manage budgets, having the flexibility like you just described, having it where it's turnkey and you just pay by the gallon, or you have the end user may purchase the equipment outright. All of those things are hugely important to sustaining wastewater infrastructure looking into the future.
As we've reported before, there is what we call silver tsunami going on in the water industry, where 3 million skilled jobs are retiring as we speak, and they're not easily replaced. So we have to go to these managed services in order for these municipalities to keep operating.
Correct. It is these folks that are hitting retirement age, it's going to place a huge drain. There's going to be a huge loss of talent across the board. It was a problem pre-COVID, but COVID just accelerated that. A lot of people just went ahead and just said, hey, I'm done, I'm retiring, I'm riding off into the sunset. So now looking what appears to be post-COVID as we're coming out of this, the demand for talent, skilled operators at the utility level, but even more so across the board. So having turnkey services, managed services like what we're proposing with the DBOO model and with the financing model with the water on demand, those are bridgers. Those will bridge and help overcome some of these limitations, because right, wrong, or indifferent, we cannot lose our water and wastewater infrastructure systems just because we don't have people to push buttons and to pull levers. I mean, we have to have the ability to service and continue to provide reliable service to the customer base.
Well, Dan, here we've got this amazing, standardized product line, which I think is essential to scaling this up. Part of the reason why I think you've achieved such a great standard has been the 2 years of webinars you've been giving throughout COVID to the water industry.
Those things are phenomenal because they do two things. They educate, they specify an engineer, they learn about our capabilities, they learn about the value proposition that is the Everamod pump station or the Everatreat packaged wastewater treatment system. The engineers recognize the superior product and the value proposition that is the Modular Water Systems program. They see where it is better and it is next generation type technology or an evolution of current technologies, and it represents a tremendous value for their customer. They like the standardization that we have. They're starting to recognize that the big picture that we are promoting is that we are trying to vertically integrate all the manufacturing and that eliminates a lot of the subcontract vendor support, subcontract field installation capability, which has plagued the water and the wastewater infrastructure marketplace for years. We are getting rapid adoption. We're getting an accelerated acceptance of basis of design. And basis of design, that means we are specified as the preferred product, which means we are permitted and approved that way, and it makes it really ultra successful for us to deliver the equipment to the customer.
Well, and now, of course, we've got the additional factor of relieving these customers from the need to raise capital by letting them have this fully supported design, build, own, operate. Are you starting to talk about that in these webinars?
We are. Just 2 weeks ago, you asked a fantastic question. So 2 weeks ago, we were in a video conference call with one of our strategic partners out in the central United States. This partner is working with a lot of the major architecture and engineering firms here in the U.S. And also in that same region, there are a lot of existing wastewater utilities that have pump station systems that are 50, 60 years old. Older technologies. With these webinars, we were able to present some of our standardized solutions, and I've introduced this water on demand and this equipment financing function. And what we are seeing is that at the municipal level, because of the dollar value of the solution we have created, there is significant interest. Because if you are the chairman of a public utility and you may be in a little small town, you may only have a customer base of 500 customers, and you've got a capital procurement budget that's very limited, and along comes a vendor like Modular Water Systems, and lo and behold, they've got this great capability, this great technology, but they also have this funding mechanism that rapidly accelerates the contracting method. Then we can get into a financing option where they can use their cash flow from their customer base to pay for this new equipment. So if they can take a technology that they would only get 40 years of service out of it, replace it with another one that can get 80 years, effectively doubling the life cycle, and there's this funding mechanism where they can pay as you go and pay over time, it is a wonderful thing. And this is really going to change the way you'll see pumping equipment technologies and infrastructure products delivered to the marketplace.
Well, that is, fantastic what you're doing. Of course, we have these mobile home parks. What are some of the ideal applications that you and Tom Marchicello have come up with?
Campgrounds and RV parks, that's one. They like the Averaskid model. The other one would be permanent single-family residential development. And this is huge in states like Texas and Florida, where there is a huge immigration component of people leaving the Northeast and leaving the West Coast and moving to Texas and Florida. Public utilities can't keep up. Decentralized utilities are the answer. And our Averaskid package in the water on demand, the DBOO model, is finding huge interest there. I'm working with a number of probably at least 3 to 5 in the Texas region, where the DBOO and the water on demand model will probably be the final selection criteria that will push us over the edge to successfully land these contracts.
Wow. Well, that is amazing. And once again, a COVID megatrend is joining itself to the general decentralization megatrend that you've been talking about for so long before it was fashionable, long before I came along. And it seems like being a prophet eventually does pay off. So, Dan, I'm so proud of the work you're doing, being on the ground there, making this product line that, through better sanitation, we save lives. The untold story of the early 20th century is that all these diseases, they were helped by, public health, doctors and so forth. But the big heroes were the sanitation engineers, and it saves lives. So keep up the great work, Dan. I'm super proud of what you're doing, and look forward to hearing more great news as we move into really helping many, ultimately thousands of sites throughout North America and elsewhere.
Well, Riggs, thank you for the compliment. Thank you for the confidence that you've expressed to me. I'm having a lot of fun. I can't believe I get paid to do what I do. It's a lot of fun.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, again, thank you, Dan. Good luck and stay safe in Alabama. I know that you're getting a sunburn, so watch out now.
All right. Thank you, sir. Good talking to you.